Hey everybody, I am Siobhan Tuvino and this is Hard Hat Legends, and today I have with me Mr. G.R. Stovall, and you're with DeWitt.
Yep.
And tell me what your role is there.
I'm president of DeWitt. Been there coming up on 9 years in December.
Has it really been that long?
It's been that long. It's this much gray hair.
And I believe it, I believe it. That's a huge responsibility.
First of all, I want to say thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
This is a cool deal to do. It's dialogue to the community, which needs to hear these stories. I mean, I might be the hard head legend. I don't know that, but I do have a hard hat. But look, this is a great industry, and thanks for choosing me and allowing me to talk about a career. It's been really good for me.
Well, I really appreciate you coming out and doing this. So, all right, we're just going to jump right in, okay?
Okay.
All right, awesome. When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to play with Dwayne, who lived down on the corner. It wasn't a career thing for me, and it wasn't because my dad wasn't in construction. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about this a little bit more in a minute, but construction kind of chose me. I just wanted to play with Dwayne. Now I admit, and I got a very vivid memory of this, that I was in kindergarten facing west at McClure Elementary School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And clearly that day we were nailing these little wooden wheels onto a wooden car in pre-drilled holes. Mm-hmm. To me, that was magic when that came together, and that same kind of magic I remember feeling in junior high in shop class. When I came in there, that was nothing like my dad's garage. This was a different kind of place.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't have the maturity then to really realize that it was a career choice, and the career choice really didn't probably come until college.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, what was your first paid job as a young man?
I cut grass and did a lot of it. And get on my 10-speed bike and pull my lawnmower down the street and go to various houses and did a lot of it and enjoyed doing that. My dad was an executive with Oral Roberts Ministries, which is affiliated with Oral Roberts University.
Yeah.
And the executive sons all got to go to work on the job sites on the campus the summers they were 16 and on.
Okay.
Well, when I was 14, I must have pleaded with my dad.
Sounds like our youngest Tanner.
I would love to have had a recording of that, but I would have loved to plead with my dad. I don't really know how that came together, but somehow I end up in Bill Roberts' office and my dad, and he said, I understand you want to go to work and you're 16. And I said, I want to go to work and I'm 14. And we all kind of looking around at one another. And for the first time, I thought maybe I am 16. So then I went to work on a job site, and that was a 2.2 million square foot facility that was just breaking ground. It was a healthcare center. It was a 60-story tower. And,
wow.
And really, from the age of 14 on up until I really started my professional career after college, mm-hmm. That was a place where I grew up, and that was a place of education for me.
Wow. My son actually played a tournament there at Oral Roberts University.
And you saw that building.
Yeah,
it's
I
hard.
did.
It is hard to miss.
Yeah.
And it's a special place to me. My parents have both passed now, but when my dad passed here not so many years ago, about 3 years ago, the need for me to go to Tulsa. It's not that I can't go see my brother, but I talk to Jim about every other day. But I don't go there anymore. And Mom and Dad lived like 400 feet behind that building.
Really?
So to go visit Mom and Dad meant I got to pull up in the driveway and get out of the vehicle and look up 760 feet at a place where I grew up. Yeah. And it's a special place, and and I think about it probably daily.
Wow. So it made a huge impact on you.
Huge impact.
That's amazing. Did you go to college, and if so, what did you major in?
Well, I didn't want to go to college. School wasn't my gig. I'm admitting it now. School wasn't my gig. I didn't know it, and I think that's why I skipped 2 years and became 16 before I was 14 or whatever it was. But after I worked on the job site for a year, after I graduated, I went to Oklahoma Baptist University because I missed people my own age. I found myself in the midst of the workers on the job site, and I just didn't have a social life. And I went to Oklahoma Baptist, where I found every smart person on the face of the earth was going to school, taking a philosophy class that I absolutely hated. So that wasn't the place for me to be, and I survived a year of that, and then transferred everything that would transfer to Oklahoma State Tech then in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, and got into their 2-year program called Construction Technology, which is far less than what I could have gotten at Stillwater, far less than what students are getting at Missouri State. But frankly, it was enough for me because I started when I was 14 years old, and I had some interesting experience, and I got a 2-year degree and launched from there. I'm proud of it. I would have been better off having gotten a 4-year degree, but I did fine without it.
Good, that's good. With your role with DeWitt, what exactly do you do?
It is a privilege to lead that group of people. I count my blessings every day to be able to do that. In addition to that, I take on the obvious roles that every president does. I'm responsible for what goes on, and the buck really stops with me. My leadership style is more jointly with our 2 vice presidents. I think 3 heads are better than 1, but obviously when push comes to shove, I have to make a decision. I have to. What's the most important thing to me as I serve is service to that group of people. I mean, I almost literally consider myself putting a towel over my arm and looking at our people and looking at our clients and saying, how can I help you? And that usually freaks out the receptionist or our project coordinator that when I walk in and say, how can I help you? But I mean it, because a lot of times I could make something happen that'll work a lot better, whatever. I love serving those people. I love that style of leadership. I just going to go ahead and say I'm good at it, and that's what I do. In addition to that, I do bear the weight of the business development role, and I look for jobs. I like the investigative aspects of trying to search for jobs, the competitiveness of it, and I do that as well.
That's awesome. And I know you. I've known you for a long time, and I know when he says that your heart is in service, I've witnessed it. So I do believe that. So I know you're speaking from your heart.
It's a huge deal, and it's something I want to share here, and I don't pull my resume out often, but I knew I had to pull it out for this because, man, it was probably 30 years ago or more I wrote that objective on top of my resume, that thing that we all write that we think is going to be the slam dunk deal and it's going to get us the job. And I don't know whether I plagiarized that, probably did, sorry. I don't know whether I plagiarized that or whether I came up with that, but when I read it today, it is so what I have become. To make a positive impact in the circumstances that come my way and that the people who I come in contact with, to make a difference. Period.
Yeah.
That is really where push comes to shove for me.
Yeah, and I believe that. That is who you are. So that's awesome. I love that. What made you choose construction, and how did you get into the industry? We kind of touched on that a little bit.
I think it chose me. I mean, I really do think it chose me. Again, my dad wasn't in the industry, so I'm not second, third, and fourth generation, and you certainly, there are those that are out there that way. And, you know, when I was in kindergarten, the wheel on the car was feeling a certain way. The junior high, the shop class, and it kind of chose me. And that's just all there is to say, because my dad would have said, I don't know why he's doing what he's doing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not that he didn't like it. It's not that he didn't realize I wasn't successful, but it wasn't a choice I made.
It just chose you.
It chose me.
Yeah. Okay. You're currently president at DeWitt.
Yeah.
Could you share the journey that led you to this role, specifically what different positions or experiences in the construction industry help you progress to this point?
Wow. I mean, I could talk all day on that. I mean, stepping into a laborer's role on the job site when I was 14 meant I was working for a guy named Barney Barnes, who had 5 sons named Barney.
He did not.
He did.
Oh my goodness.
You can't make this stuff up.
Okay.
Even I can't make this stuff up. And there was a certain amount of insanity there in that.
Yeah.
Yet still from Barney, old man Barnes is what we called him, not Barney Jr. or Junior Barnes, and I never met the other three. But I just learned about stuff. And then alongside of him, there was a guy named Chester Sinclair, who was a big, tall, dark-headed Indian who was a part of the original steel erection on the original World Trade Centers.
Oh, wow.
And you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
And so look, there's a ton of shoulders that I stand on that have taught me some of the things that I know, but having had my own business for 9 years in the midst of the last 40 was very influential. There's some people that I came in contact with. Man, it's just a lot of stuff. And I just can't say thanks enough to all of those folks that I may be leaving out that had so much influence over me when, frankly, I just didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And certainly, I don't want to say I know everything now, but what's led up to my skill set that suffices for me to perform the presidency at DeWitt right now is a blessing to me, and I'm thankful for all of those shoulders I stand on that brought it my way.
I think you're kind of unique in the fact that you did work your way up. I mean, it wasn't just handed to you.
Right.
You worked your way up, you knew exactly what you're doing, and that's why I like this story, because you know what the laborers are going through, what they're facing, because you've been there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like you've just sat in the office this whole time. I mean, you've been out in the field and you know exactly what they're doing and what's going on.
And that's been helpful. You did say something that, you knew what they were doing, you knew what you were doing. There were some times I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And we're going to touch on
not everybody does. I mean, it's a learning curve.
Having to go through the maturity of understanding, what you know and what you don't know, and how to find the difference.
Yeah.
And and as we're probably talking today to people, to young folks, to everybody, about people that want to talk about entering the construction business, you got to know what you know and know what you don't know, and have the internal fortitude to figure out the difference.
Right.
And figure out how to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, and be coachable, be teachable.
It's a huge deal to be teachable, but find people that'll teach you too.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. If you weren't doing construction, what do you think you would be doing?
Hands down, the easiest question you gave me, if I wasn't doing construction, I would be doing something where I could say, how can I help?
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I can remember a time in my career when I used to answer that real estate, and I really don't know why that was that way, but period. I absolutely, first thing, where can I go to work and what can I do to find a group of people that I can help?
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't think I would ever leave the construction industry because it is so broad. It's not just general contracting. It's not just construction management. It is, you and I were talking earlier, it is floor covering, it is aggregates, it is paint, it is supply and everything. So
it's everything.
Service to me is my career and I love it.
Awesome. Okay. What are some ways that your company is bringing people into the industry?
We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it like we're talking right now. We talk about, Build My Future, and we talk about programs like that are organized that are really good. I have to admit, I prefer the one-on-one conversation, the one-on-one conversation in my office. I plead with Missouri State students who want to kind of direct their career in a certain way. I said, call me. I mean, I'm 9 minutes. There's a table in my office, 9 minutes from Kemper Hall right here. You call me, you come, we'll sit down and talk about it. And then often when I'm talking to the freshmen, I'm going to say, it's not too late for you guys to go to dental school. and it's a little bit of a joke, but look, if construction is not a fit for you, it's just not a fit.
Right. You don't want them to be unhappy for the rest of their lives,
but it's so tremendously wide and so tremendously deep that I just do very much enjoy talking to people about the huge opportunities that I've had to build a career and to be able to support my family and to be able to do the things that I do, including going to Hawaii last week.
Nice.
And I mean, and we spent a lot of career funds there. Never mind. Okay. Wow.
Cut.
Wow. I mean, those are like $15 a dozen eggs over there. I mean, it's expensive over there.
That's insane. I'm like donating my eggs because my chickens are laying way too many.
But back to your question, we just simply have to talk about the industry as an industry to people and get the word out, because there still are moms and dads out there that think that I don't want my child getting into a ditch digging industry or a hardworking industry, when in reality, some want to dig ditches, some want to work hard, some want to be in the office, some want to think, some want to unravel puzzles, some want to sell. It's a vast industry that we're in. We've got to talk about it.
Absolutely. And this is one of the few industries, I believe, that will not be taken over by AI. Now, have I seen some of the heavy equipment being used, what's the little thingy?
Yeah,
okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I have seen that when we went to Vegas a few years ago. That is a thing, but it is so outrageously expensive. It is way far out of reach for many construction companies.
Right.
So we are one of the few industries that you have to have people, living, breathing people, to do the job.
They're always going to need us.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
And I kind of have a fun statement that I make sometimes when we interview, or sometimes when I talk to a prospective client, and I'll look at that client and say, "You really don't want to build this building. You want to be in it."
Yeah.
And the delta between the point A and point B is the area of service. And it is so cool that we get to come in alongside of our clients, whoever they are, whatever industry they're in, whether they're nonprofit or not, and every one of you know who you are. And it is so cool for us to be able to come in alongside of them and help them, for them to get point A to point B, so they can continue to go on and change lives like they do.
Yeah.
And that is such a special, probably when I begin to realize that is really where I begin to realize how service-hearted I am.
Yeah. What is a specific challenge you've encountered in your role as president with your company?
People are the biggest challenge, period. And that sounds like I'm complaining.
No, that's just worldwide. It's just no matter what you're in.
But and really when I say people are the biggest challenge, it sounds like I'm complaining about everybody that doesn't think like I do. Biggest challenge for me is realizing that not everybody thinks like I do. And I've got to understand that they think differently, and I've got to figure out how to approach that. And sometimes that is very difficult. But at the same time, when I say people are the biggest challenge or relationships are the biggest challenge, the biggest opportunity is there too. It's where the biggest celebration is. We've all dealt with it with our children and our grandchildren. I haven't mentioned my grandson. Never mind. But I mean, and I will mention Brooks' name. Brooks was born a little early. He's got some challenges. He falls in the category of special needs. Certainly, everything I've just said is heavy. But man, he's the coolest guy you've ever met.
Yeah.
And he's working through that. And so there is that contrast between what's challenging and what's cool, and the fact that my daughter and her husband are dealing with those challenges and those growth opportunities. And then also even my son, I love to call Brad Uncle Brad. Uncle Brad is dealing with the weight of the Brooks issue and then the other thing. And so the greatest thing about the challenge is the opportunity, and that is to grow and to win through the trials and developing with people.
Yeah, totally agree. I know that acts of service, we just talked about this, is a part of who you are. What are some organizations that you are a part of, and what role do you have in them?
I am a member of Sunrise Rotary, and the fact that I'm mentioning that means I'm defending myself against getting a fine from our Sergeant at Arms. But in reality, being a member of Rotary, who I think I've got now 14 years of perfect attendance.
That's awesome.
It's life-changing for me. The whole concept of Rotary and service above self was me. I wish I had gotten into Rotary long before now. It's a great place for me to just be casual and be myself. It's a great place for me to serve. It is also a great place to network.
Okay.
Sunrise Rotary is big. Springfield Executive Breakfast Club is big.
Oh, I have heard of that. Okay.
In that room, I get to celebrate being the one exclusive commercial construction guy. Everybody in there is a leader of their organization in whatever they're doing. We've got about 70 members now, and it's really good to be in there once a week, rubbing elbows with people that are dealing with people problems, people celebrations, new regulations, whatever. It's just a great place to be there. Missouri State Construction Club, or I'm Missouri State Advisory Board, and I say construction club because I go to the club meetings quite often, but to be in there with a bunch of folks like your husband, and iron sharpening iron, if you will. I love the way we enter that room and everybody kind of takes their hat off and it's all about the students, and that's a great place too. So those are 3.
Awesome. Okay. What is the favorite part of your job? We kind of touched on that too, didn't we?
If I'm being selfish, the favorite part of my work at DeWitt is business development. I do like being alone and unraveling the mysteries of finding new work and opportunities to serve other folks. Okay, but as president, it's not fair for me to be alone. I have my disciplined time where I have to get alone, and I am alone. But as president, my favorite role is simply saying, how can I help?
Yeah.
And trying to find out a way, you know, if an employee says, this isn't working that way, or they're not returning my call, or I can't break through on this particular level or whatever, I love trying to figure out the solution, and that is 1, either help them, or 2, look at them right in the eye and say, yes, you can, and you will, and I'll be back tomorrow to see if that's happened.
Yeah.
And I love to come back the next day and to see them to raise, okay, I did call, and I did make it happen, and it worked out well, and I love that opportunity to encourage them there.
Yeah, to encourage the problem solving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, who's been a mentor for you, and what piece of advice did they give you that you still use today? I'm not sure if you know that we've had a couple of people that I've interviewed and you were their mentor. And so that's one of the things I wanted to ask you, like, who was your mentor?
I've seen those videos where people have said, I'm their mentor. And I mean, boy, there's no other way to say it other than just what a blessing that is. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I was just trying to be me.
Yeah.
And
it's a little humbling, isn't it?
And I ended up influencing somebody.
Yeah.
To the positive, Dad, to the positive. Okay, but there's a lot of people out there that I feel like I stand on their shoulders, a lot. I am so thankful for that big group of people, and to isolate any one person is difficult, but I'm going to isolate a couple because you're twisting my arm back here. I'm going to get it
Yes,
back.
I am.
Okay.
You may not see that, but I am.
Jerry Stovall was chairman of the board of South Barnes Development when I came to work at MECO. And when I interviewed, the question came to me, well, what do you think? And I said, clearly, I remember 100% this is exactly what I said. I said, I don't think I'm up to MECO speed. I had never seen an estimator's desk with that much on it. I didn't think so. And Jerry said, we don't think you are either, but we think you will be in 6 or 8 months. I cannot thank him enough. I mean, what went through my mind in that moment was, if you gave me 6 or 8 months, I could be halfway done medical school. I mean, his taking that grandfatherly hand and putting it up under me and say, we're willing to gamble, we're willing to invest ourselves in you, was so good. And I so hope our people see that in me when they're interacting with me. Another example of Jerry Stiefvater was 2 or 3 years later when we were without a senior estimator and a number 2 estimator, and I was number 3, and Jerry came in my office and I go, Jerry, what are we doing? Because I was carrying a lot of weight, and he said, I think we found the guy, and he's going to start today, and you're it. And I said, oh no, but again, he supported me, he put his hands up underneath me, he knew what my potential was. The second individual, besides Jerry Stiefvater, is John Branham. When my time came at Branco, to leave, there was a firm conversation between 4 or 5 of us in the conference room. And those people that were in there know who they are, and John was one of them. And it was challenging. And I'm not sure I'd been prouder of us up to that point, because it was a difficult time for me and those people too. But after that meeting was over, it was kind of one of those meetings where you ought to just break and go.
Right.
And I remember John saying, "GR, this idea of you going to DeWitt and being president, I'm not sure you really know what you're getting into." Well, at that moment, John, I knew I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But with the shoulders of the people that I'd stood on to date, including yours, I knew it was my role to take on, and I didn't have a choice. And I had the what do I want to call, the confidence, the bravery to step into the challenge of that and do that. And I tell you, I could not be more thankful for the opportunity I have had there, and meant no damage by exiting one company and going to another.
Right.
But man, I have learned so much from so many people, and it came from Jerry's support and the wisdom of John, who, when he said that, "GR, you don't know what you're getting yourself into," it's John caring about me. And I knew that John, of all the things he needed to do at that very moment in time, wouldn't necessarily have been to care, but he cared enough to say that, and I know he meant it, and for that I appreciate him.
That's awesome. I love that story. What are some ideas or suggestions that you may have, other than what your company is doing, to bring people into the trades? We've just got to talk about it. And we touched about this a little bit earlier. We've just got to talk about it. There is no substitution for that. Some in our industry may find it better to deal with groups of people and organized activities to convince people come in there, and others, and that's more like me, I'd rather just be one-on-one, knee-to-knee, toe-to-toe, right,
and look at an individual and say, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? What are you wanting to do? And get them introduced to the kind of people that they feel like they may want to become, and maybe that's me, and maybe that's somebody else, and we've just got to get active about it. And when you say, what are some things, I'm going to say, in answer to that, we've got to do it every day. Because our industry needs youth.
Yeah, we do.
And they're going to have us.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to put that together, and we've got to do it every day. We've got to always be conscious. There can never be a time when we don't have time to mentor, to talk, to discuss, to figure out a way to get either ourselves with somebody or somebody else with somebody and have those conversations.
I agree, totally. We need people.
Yeah.
Desperately.
Desperately? Why are we whispering? Why are we whispering? Okay, there we go.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I know
Thank
you're
you.
A very busy man, so you being here and doing this with us is greatly appreciated.
I can't thank you guys enough for doing this. It's a great deal, and way to go.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
And thank you all for watching. And if you would please, on our YouTube channel, click like and subscribe and share. We would so appreciate that. Thank you so much. Until next time.